I've been hearing impaired and deaf practically all my life, and so I've been going through lots of speech therapy and lots of hearing doctors and audiologists, and I've been going through all these people like all throughout my trip, all the way up to here. When I went to Gallaudet University, hearing aids weren't really a requirement, but falling after Gallaudet University, I had to come out of Gallaudet and then go into the hearing community, and I didn't really have a proper set of hearing aids. It was about time I needed a new set of hearing aids, and my mom recommended this place as my first place to go and check out. She heard a lot of good news and recommendations about hearing doctors, and so I came this way.
Mr. Lewis was a really unique case for us. He came in wearing a very old and clunky hearing aid from 12 years ago. He's worn hearing aids since he was a child, and he was pretty amazed to know that technology has really evolved. He has one good ear and not so good on the other, and so we needed very specific technology that would really address that very well.
It's been a lot of like adjusting and growing to knowing that there's hearing on this side, and then like making sure I'm processing that the information is coming from this side. So like whenever I hear something or someone talking to me and I'm against a wall on this side, I'll be like, oh right, someone's addressing me this way. So I'll turn and be like, hey, what's up, how are you?
By definition, he needed a cross system. In this case, actually a bicross. That's when one ear is aidable and the other ear is not. The ear that's not aidable has a microphone that sends the information to the good ear. So the interactions as a young professional, it was very important for him to communicate with the public or even his friends. They were always playing around as to which ear is the better ear. And he doesn't have to do that anymore, and he can now perform really well in a very noisy environment.
I work as a pharmacy technician, and so talking to patients from time to time gets really, really hard. And so hearing the rustling of paper doesn't help, and so we definitely gotten it adjusted and fixed. So then I don't hear paper as much, but then I could hear the volume of people talking to me.
As a pharmacy tech, it was really important for Mr. Lewis to better understand his customers. And with the newer technology that he was wearing, not only was he thrilled with the looks, but it was more important that he was actually hearing the speech information and not be bothered with the paper rustling and all the other noises that could be happening at the same time. And that was a really nice goal to achieve for him.
Prior to me getting this new set of hearing aids, and I was using my old before they started pettering and dying on me, I've went through a lot of like patients that were upset with me or angry that I wasn't able to understand or communicate with them at a low frequency or able to talk to them in a good manner. But once I got a new set of hearing aids, and these were the ones that worked for me, the cross-sectional hearing aids, my interactions with customers definitely improved. It's gone from down here to up here, and everyone is just happy and comfortable with me and engaging with me in a better stance than it was previously.
It's challenging enough when you don't have good hearing in both ears. For him, he only has one good ear that is doing the work for the two. And so being in a very challenging listening environment in today's world, everything is full of noise. And because he wasn't hearing well, he was being judged just by not being able to interact as expected. When he actually wore the hearing aids, they were almost invisible. That was a big plus. But more importantly, they actually performed really well. His confidence just went through the roof and just sort of became a different person in a good way.
The ones I've had for about the 12 years, they were big and bulky, and they had ear molds, and people can tell. They're like, oh, you're deaf, or oh, you're hard of hearing. And you do get treated differently when people can see that see your disability, you know, and there's no hidden fact about it. And it's definitely having it smaller, a smaller set that's able to hide, and then being invisible, almost invisible. No one really mentioned anything, and also I feel like I could blend in pretty well without sticking out like a sore thumb. My social life has definitely gotten better. I mean, we're still in the era of the pandemic, so it's been a struggle meeting up with people, but Now, since everything is finally starting to open up and I'm able to meet up with some of my friends I haven't seen in quite some time, um, they were like, "Whoa, you're hearing us better." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm hearing you guys better." They don't realize that I have a new set of hearing aids. Or sometimes with my hearing aids that were bulky and they were 12 years old, I wouldn't wear them, and so I would be like, "What? Huh? What's going on? Can you repeat yourself?" And with these hearing aids, I'm not doing that often, and also I feel like I can compensate, but also communicate in a better way than I did previously.
He loved the fact that they were almost invisible. In today's world, they don't have to be big and bulky hearing aids anymore in order for them to be efficient. These are small, efficient, effective, and they're really made for him. And he really enjoys the way they just sort of blend in.
When I was younger, with the 12-year hearing aid set that I've had, we would continuously like rotate around each other. My deaf friend, she's deaf on one side and I'm deaf on this side, and so like we were always constantly rotating around each other, talking to each other. And with my new set of hearing aids, I'm no longer doing that. We're able to just walk down the hall without really rotating around each other, occupying space, you know.
While it was amazing that he was actually able to better hear his friends, family, and customers, it's very important with the Bicross to know that something's happening on the bad ear, from a safety point of view, to knowing that somebody's actually coming up behind you. So having that balanced hearing is very important. If you or anybody you know and love has any hearing concerns, please get in touch with us at hearingdoctors.com.